Hey, what's up everybody? Today I'm giving you a guide to a game called Rogue Cards. Rogue Cards is a roguelite deck builder where every run is different. Long-term strategy is extremely important as well in this game. Now, this game has not fully released yet, but to join in you just had to click the sign up for playtest button, which it doesn't show for me anymore, and you can join in within roughly a day's time in the game. It might cost money down the road, so keep that in mind. Now, when you do start up the game, it for some reason boots up VR. So to be able to hear things in the game, you're going to hit those bars up there, go down to settings, choose the audio department, make sure it's set to manual, and that it selects whichever headset you're using, or whatever other audio option. Then I'm going to minimize that, and you can now hear the game sounds. Now, I'm also going to dismiss that and minimize that, so then it doesn't get in the way of the gameplay. Now I'm going to play on my main run because I can show you best how everything progresses within the game and some of the best strategies to best master what you're going to go up against. Alright, so here's the main map. You'll start over here and start your run like normal. Later on you'll have options to go whichever way you want. Here is the shop. This is your deck manager. With the cards you acquire after winning some games, you get in the not in your deck section, but you still have it as a stash. You have your main deck and your graveyard. When you play cards in this mode, they go to the graveyard no matter what, unless you have some sort of card that will bring it back. Now in the shop, it's very unique how you earn money within this game. One of the ways you can do it is by killing enemies. It's roughly each enemy you kill, you get 1 gold. You can also sell the cards you have, which means that they're gone permanently. Typically with this, I look for cards that are already in my graveyard because they're hard to get back without spending gold. Well, they cost gold anytime you try to bring something back from the graveyard. Also, if there's some cards that I know I really don't need, I will just get rid of them here. What you're going to want to make sure of is when you're done with your run that you have at least 30 cards, between 30 and 50, because that's the max, that's what you have you can take back to your next run. So if you don't have 30 cards, you lose your entire progress and start over with the basic cards, which is really unfortunate. Now, when you look in the shop, there's a lot of different things you can buy over here to help you on your journey, but these things do not stay with you after you die. Consumables and items, they will go away. The boons, you get that by killing certain bosses. So like for example, the cave, the troll will give you a little maximum health. When you kill someone in the cemetery, I believe it gives you some sort of mana or resistance. Just little benefits as you continue your journey. Now let's go back to the shop. Well, I would suggest when it comes to like the headgear, there's one item that it goes down the list. It starts with like 5 gold to get 1 melee resistance, 10 for 2 melee resistance, 20 for 3 melee resistance, and also 20 for 1 melee resistance and 1 extra card from the graveyard returned. After each battle you win, you get 3 cards from your graveyard, which is extremely important because it's all focused around having cards in your deck so you can still play the games. Once the cards in the deck are gone, you gotta hope that somehow, some way the enemies die or you will lose and the run will end. When it comes to consumables, these are actually extremely helpful. Having a mana potion is really helpful because you can just use it in a pinch, as well as the health potion. Health potion, not as important. You'll find a lot of healing items within the game. The horn, it could be really helpful. I don't use it a whole lot because typically in the shop, you'll be able to come up here and you'll be able to get cards back from your graveyard. Like right now we have 16 cards in our graveyard, so I'm gonna wait a little bit longer and then I'm gonna save up to buy all the cards back. When you buy a booster pack, this gives you 3 cards to your pool. It'll put it in the not in a deck section. That's really helpful because those are cards that you can either destroy for more gold in your next run, or they can actually be helpful cards that you could use in your deck now. So I would suggest if you're ever ending a run, make sure you grab up to 50 cards because you have a better chance to destroy more cards on the next time you do a run. So basically you're gonna have runs where you tank, you just like completely force yourself to fail. So then the next time you'll have a lot more gold since that doesn't carry over and you can progress forward. Alright, so let's go into the battle. Let's show you how that goes. So you look here in your hand, you have a lot of options. On the left side here is your mana. It shows how much you get per turn and however much mana you have starting off. Some things will give you more mana, so that's beneficial. Here's your max health and your current health. This shows how many cards are left in your deck and how many cards you draw each turn. That shows your melee resistance, magic resistance, all of that, and over here you have your consumables if you need to use them. Now when you're looking at your enemies, you're going to want to make sure you see how many health bars they have, and for each health bar, when that bar goes away, they'll go from using this ability to using one of these two abilities, the poke or the heal. And then at the end is typically the most powerful ability, so if you're trying to kill an enemy, you typically want to go down from those two at the same time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to probably place the Flaming Blades first and see how much health this guy will have left over before doing anything else. So he has 2 health left. I can probably finish him with another Flaming Blades. This opponent is just doing a bunch of defensive stuff, so I'm not going to worry about them until I have the offensive opponent out of the way first. There, he's gone. Now, I'm going to place a Blue Toad on this guy. You'll notice that the terminology on the card said that it does 8 damage each turn. This is something about the game that needs to be fixed. It does not do 8 damage every turn, as you'll see soon here. As now, it still does 8 damage, very fortunate. I've seen it do 1, 2, or 4 damage afterwards. You see, now it's down to 4 damage, but it said deal 8 damage every turn. I don't know why it's worded that way. It should be worded as up to 8 damage or between 1 and 8 damage if it's going to not do the same amount of damage every turn. Or make it cost more because 1 is ridiculous for that much. Now, I'm going to finish off that guy. He's dead. I'm going to get the option to choose a new card, which almost always you want to take a new card because it gives you another option to destroy that card later and get more gold. Also, if you get later on in the journey, you'll have better cards. The Flaming Blades come right around this point in the game. There are some cards that come, that came later in the game too. It just kind of depends on how the artwork looks. This you get outside of the starting deck. That's the starting deck card. Some of the starting deck cards are actually really good, but not all of them are. So I'm going to take the Shatter, take the Toad, the Flaming Blades, since it made that much of a difference. Come back to the shop. When you look at the stuff to sell, this will change every single time you face an opponent or go to the camp. You can also buy some stuff here. I would suggest against it unless it's something you really desperately need. I'd mainly say use your gold if you have the ability to get all your cards back. Trying to go further on your run, your current run. Getting the booster packs and get more cards. Or buying one of these items so you can really improve your run as well. When it comes to the ring, I have found the ring that gives +3 mana at the beginning of each match to be amazing, because you can do some really hefty stuff and take out one enemy first. When it comes to melee resistance, if you're trying to rush through and get through the basic parts, I'd grab the +2 melee resistance, and if you're going for a long run, get the Jester's Hat. Once you buy one though, not really worth upgrading it unless you get a really lucky run. With the items, I don't really like the maximum health because normally you can work around and be safe with it. The extra 1 card per turn though could be very useful. Also, the Void Rock here giving 1 mana per turn and 1 magic resistance. I like items like that. Having the versatility to survive is a really safe bet. Right now we're going to buy all the cards back just so you guys can see what happens there. All these get put back into my deck. Hopefully this guide helped you out. If it did, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Share with your friends if you think they could use it. And I'll see you guys next time.